Well, I believe that all the Hindu, ancient, Oriental philosophies are the first attempt to understand the psyches and the body, as a way the body to what I believe is psychology only works in this mind part, okay? But all ancient philosophy also introduced the body as a way to dominate the drives.
Well, this beautiful insight that there was any separation because of the body and the mind. No separation at all. The body is an expression of the mind. And then also there was this beautiful insight that will allow me to know the body and the mind and the emotion and the breath is consciousness. Okay? Because I'm conscious of my body, I am conscious of my thoughts, I am conscious of my feeling, I am conscious of my emotion, I am conscious of the breath. There is always the I amness behind. So it's in fact all this points towards the I amness. So it's a way of, in fact, say to understand what we are, got to explore what we are not, and to go deep into that.
Very interesting.
In fact, to make they speak about the yoga practice as the churning, and there's a beautiful story in the Puranas, the mythology, as you said, because the devas and the asuras, the god and the demons, they lost the nectar of immortality. And they were going to die and they freaked out. And they didn't like the thought of dying, so I make the story short because I have to read between the lines. So they went to see Vishnu, and Vishnu said, okay, fine, you can churn the ocean, and maybe you are going to find the other. So the beautiful thing that they have to get together, see the light and darkness. Light and darkness, they have to get together to churn. And with the churning, the first thing who came out is the poison. So the first thing.
The first thing.
The first thing is a poison can destroy the universe, and the story said that Shiva drink the poison because for him he knows that the poison is the remedy.
The poison is the remedy.
So what's interesting is that that's churning, and from that churning there's the energies of the shadow. And the yoga practice, as far as understood, and my understanding is very neat, and the yoga practice provoke that churning on many levels.
Well, we were discussing that today. In psychology, we speak a lot about life drive and death drive, okay? In the beginning, Freud said that all the psychic apparatus is driven by pleasure. Everything we do is for pleasure. And then he changed this theory and he said, no, it's life drive and death drive. He said, as any biological being, we are driven to death. We die and we live and we die. In the moment that we live, we are only on our path to death. And he said that, okay, at a very monocellular, unicellular level, beings born and die very fast in a straight line with no detours. And he said, as more complex is the being, more detours it makes towards death. Instead of going into a straight line, it makes detours to avoid death, no? But intrinsically, he says the basic drive is death drive. And life drive just makes detours to avoid. So this is the game and the mix of drives that we have in our mind, life drive and death drives. And in this mixer, we are living this experience of life. I think it's versions of the same. When we read these stories that you tell me, the gods being afraid of dying, and sometimes like repetition and going towards death in a straight line, and then through desire, motivation, that it's a life drive, avoiding this straight line towards death.
Yeah. But the thing is that you see, I just can see my personal life or my personal drama of a way of See, my personal drama, a way to understand that I'm not the drama. So I go through my personal drama to understand that I'm not the drama.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Talking about yoga and this way, this technique of yoga punctually on the body. What is yoga for?
Well, as far as I understand, for me, yoga is celebration. It's not to achieve anything, according to my understanding, because consciousness is not the result of an activities. See, consciousness is not an effect of the activities. Consciousness expresses itself in activities, and the rituals of yoga are just pointing to the ground of consciousness, and the body being the celebration of that. So for me, the rituals of yoga, whatever it is, you are practicing asana, pranayama, it's a celebration of that, our capacities, and through the different form of asana, you explore the first what you do when you do the postures, the asanas, you are reading the body through the sensations.
Mm.
In Sanskrit, it's called sparsha.
Mm.
See, you're reading the body through the sensation. There's a beautiful prayer saying salutation to the richness of touch in the Tantra, to the wealth of touch, which is Sparsha Lakshmi. Lakshmi is richness, Sparsha is touch. See, because you have to move, you have to shift from a thought body to a felt body. So you read the body through different sensations, and then you understand the sensation of vibrations, spanders, and the body is the vibration of consciousness. And sometimes, and hence, you celebrate that.
I
See,
see.
for me, it's a celebration. And for me, it's not to colonize the body. It's not to colonize. It's not to using yoga to attain something, to attain a different state. So it's just naturally with what you practice, there's an expansion of the feeling of the body, an expansion of the feeling of the mind, the feeling of the senses. So you go back to those expansions, they are very nice indeed. But then also you have to experience all the contractions. So for me, it's a
Celebration.
a celebration of the form, my form. C'est the celebration of this unital form that I know as Christian. And now this, which is quite amazing because this form will never happen again. It's quite amazing. It never happened in millions of years. It will never happen again. So it's amazing creativity.
Very unique.
Very unique. And then it's completely impermanent. So at one point it's going to be finished. So I celebrate that. I celebrate what they call the term the Shaktis. See the first the amazing organic functions. This is the thing that if I had to somewhere manage my heart, my breath, the function of my breath, my brain, I will not survive 5 minutes. See the amazing organic function which are spontaneous. The beautiful function of my senses, the beautiful function of my mind, you see, the thoughts somewhere create my reality, or my emotions. If I'm in love, I know the whole world is in love. If I'm depressed, the whole world is depressed. So I celebrate to see those amazing capacities of Shaktis. In fact, there's a beautiful hymn of Amira Gupta. He said the circle of deities in the bodies. And he starts by the breath, inhalation and exhalation. So by celebrating that, he offers, he pay homage to the inhalation, he pay homage to the exhalation. And here he said that I worship the deities, which are the organs, the mind, the senses, the emotion, which are surging continuously, which is a beautiful way to sing the body. So for me, yogic practice, it's a celebration and recognizing that this is the field of consciousness awareness in a limited form.
You're a poet, Christian. You are a poet. It's very beautiful, everything you said. Well, I practiced yoga for 10 years.
Yeah.
After a very deep sickness in my body. I want to share to you something that I feel, no? I have a sensation also from my, well, my object of perception also has a lot of psychology. So I believe that it's many things that cannot be expressed, and we have a tendency to register in the body. Okay? Many things that cannot be articulated, many things that cannot be talked or put into words or
Digested.
digested. Exactly. I think it's a lot of this emotional word that we cannot fully digest, and this end up being in our body. Okay, it's like things coming from the unconscious mind, this non-revealed part of us that it's not revealed to us. And I found that yoga, it's a fantastic mechanism or technique to deal with many things through movement, but that in reality comes from this emotional mind and register in the body and are outside of our understanding. And some of them are meant to be understood through therapy. It's my logic, no, my way of perceiving. And some of them are completely out of articulation. We cannot has access to them. And through movement, we can deal and digest these things, and it goes out through this movement, like a way of coming back to what I was telling you before, dealing and digesting this death drive instead of keeping it in the body, taking it out to the exterior through movement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. In fact, if it's that you're feeling, your feeling is right. Yeah, and it's true that all those non-digested emotions are stored in the body. That's why I was speaking about the emergence of the shadow,
Mm.
and they will come up. And then, of course, after the other part is to leave all the space to most what we call, which I don't think it is, what we call those negative emotions, sadness, anger, whatever comes up. Hey, to you and see that beyond this sadness, this anger, fear, there's tremendous energy, but it will come up. Yeah.
Well, many trauma as well is registered in the body. It's a very famous book from a psychiatrist that he says the body keeps the score.
Yeah, it's big.
The body keeps the score. Some things we don't remember, we put it in a drawer, we left them there, we don't want to, or we think it does not affect us, but the body registers. And I think it's yoga practice in a conscious way, not only like empty exercises. It's a fantastic way, system, mechanism, technique, whatever we want to call it, to digest this
Yes.
and take this death drive
That's right.
out of the body.
That's right.
Claudia?
Claudia.
Hello, Cristian. Nice
Hello,
to meet
Claudia.
you.
So she's in Buenos Aires?
She's not in Buenos Aires. Estás en Misiones, ¿no, Claudia?
Estoy en Misiones, sí.
She's in a
Ahora en este
province
momento,
called Misiones, more in the north, more towards Brazil.
All right.
sí. Lorena, yo le quería hacer una pregunta.
I will
Además que
consent.
estaba hablando con respecto a lo que es la práctica y la enseñanza del yoga. Aurobindo decía que no es solamente una práctica física, sino que también es una herramienta para elevar la conciencia. Pero en esta práctica de yoga que te pasó a vos también como experiencia de transformación, él considera que los que dan yoga, los profesores, los maestros, están
Para que
sosteniendo
voy por
interior.
partes. Déjame traduciendo porque si no es too much. I will do into parts. She says that yoga is not only like a tool for the body, but also a tool for experience the emotions and other things. Also talking about my own experience through the sickness and else. And then she wanted to ask you for yoga teachers. Ahí sí, decime la segunda parte.
Porque quería preguntarle si él considera que quienes estamos enseñando yoga o difundiendo, estamos sosteniendo el trabajo interior o citando autoridad. Pasa también como pasamos y hablamos con el psicoanálisis, o como dice Nacio, si en fervor de sostener la tradición nos estamos olvidando, siguiente, querés mantener la práctica.
She said that as yoga teachers, do you think that you have like a responsibility? You're sustaining an authority, teaching yoga. You are forgetting the traditions because she makes an analogy with psychoanalysis, for example. Psychoanalysis was born 120 years ago. And what we are always calling is we need to adjust psychoanalysis to the modern life. It cannot be a practice for people from last century. So she says, regarding yoga, should we do the same and adapt yoga to today's world? What is our duty? What is our role as yoga teachers? She's asking as a yoga teacher.
So as you a teacher, then
If it needs to be adapted to today's world, it needs to be kept as tradition,
well, it has to be adapted.
adapted.
In fact, there's one of the very important ingredient. It's called the Vini Yoga. It's called Vini Yoga. And the Vini Yoga, you adapt the technique according to the space and time. And if you are a man, if you are a woman, your age, what you do in your life, the season. So there's always an adaptation of the techniques, where you are teaching, to who you are teaching, this adaptation of the technique, but never forgetting that whatever you do points towards consciousness. That's it.
Everything points to the consciousness.
Yeah, that's it, because that's the only reality. And in fact, as she said, yoga is not just a tool for the body. In fact, it has never been a tool for the body. It used the body to understand that body is the field of consciousness. So, of course, because you see, like, 1,000 years ago, I mean, what people were practicing has been very different than now. In fact, as though they said there's 84 traditional asanas, and most of the yoga, the posture that we know today, most of them are contemporary. So the adaptation has to be there.
The adaptation.
And of course, that's called once again the Vini Yoga, but never forgetting that you see, you can do whatever you want. Please never forgetting that it points towards consciousness. In fact, these days, I'm even shy about saying that I'm teaching yoga. See, because yoga cannot be taught. See, the essential of yoga cannot be taught. Yoga is revealed. So what we do, we teach techniques.
Techniques.
And hopefully we can teach technique with an orientation, with an ambience, which points towards consciousness. And that's it. And then, of course, you respect, see, because now people, they come to yoga with different reasons. So you respect that reason, knowing that's not really the real reason, but you respect it. And you teach accordingly.
Each body process.
Or
Everybody's process.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
has a singular process, a singular experience listening.
And there's a radical acceptance of the process of the student, knowing that it doesn't define the student. And of course, you have to use a technique in such a way that the student has a reconciliation with his process. Reconciliation is very important.
What you just said, it's so powerful, no? In a way that the student has a reconciliation with its process.
Yeah, that's right. And the reconciliation process comes, of course, you don't have to I would say, to tap. It comes more from the presence of the teacher, knowing that first the process doesn't define you, and most important that you don't control the process at all. You are not in charge of the process.
We say something similar from psychoanalysis. People has to reconcile with what they are, what happened to them in life, and trying to live and give some meaning into it in order not to suffer so much. Christian, it was a pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Francisco. Thank you, Claudia. Hasta luego.